When Godzilla's new evolved design was revealed to the world, some people were delighted. Others, well, regardless of whether you hated or loved the new look, we all wondered why the G-Man's appearance had changed, and it became, for better or worse, the most talked about topic among the fans leading up to the release of the new Empire. Now, about a month after the movie's been out, we finally got our hands on the novelization form of it, and I read the whole thing this past week. Some of the new lore that the book revealed was, of course, how Godzilla's appearance drastically changed during his evolution, and why he came out of the ice looking more aquatic and fish-like. And that's what we're gonna explain today. Everyone, welcome to Dangerville, and let's get to it. Before his evolution, Godzilla's design in the Monsterverse had stayed fairly consistent throughout the previous 4 movies and across the expanded media. While some aspects of his design would change between appearances, like his dorsal plates, his physique, and the shape of his feet, overall his look stayed pretty much the same. It was always just minor changes that if you weren't really paying attention, you might not even notice. When you have such a great base design for Godzilla like the Monsterverse one, it's hard to change his look simply for the sake of change, which even Adam Wingard himself agrees with in this article on TheWrap.com that I found. Now in this article, Adam says that it was important to him that Godzilla retained his look from Godzilla King of the Monsters when we got to Godzilla vs. Kong. And he went on to give a good example of what could go wrong when you drastically change a famous character's design randomly, comparing the OG original King Kong stop motion design with the dude in a suit King Kong vs. Godzilla idea. He says it felt jarring as a fan. And he says when it came to this film, as a fan, that he loved all the different iterations of Godzilla over the years. And he's been excited to make his own version of Godzilla for a long time, it seems. Although he wanted to make sure that everyone understood that the design was not changed just for the heck of it, he wanted the evolution of Godzilla to be a propulsive point for the story. So when Adam got the chance to be the first and only returning director to come back and helm a second Monsterverse movie, there was finally a chance for a proper Godzilla transformation. According to Adam, he said, "We didn't do anything that was so out of left field that they would balk at it, because ultimately the changes to Godzilla are relatively subtle. There's some proportional changes or some extra spikes. Obviously there's pink, which is the biggest thing." Now for the most part, I do personally agree with this, and at the end of the day he may look different, but you can still tell this is Monsterverse Godzilla. He's still got the big guy's spirit at the end of the day. Now, designer of Evolved Godzilla, Jared Krachevsky, threw on a bit of his own statement at one point regarding the G-Man's new look, where when coming up with the design, his explanation was that Godzilla's body was absorbing so much of his stored energy within his body that it began to eat away at his fat reserves in a sense, resulting in this new athletic-looking body. But now the book is out, everyone, and we have some official lore on why Godzilla's design has changed. And just like Adam said, there's actually a solid explanation behind it, and it does propel the story forward. Remember, this is from the official GXK novelization of the film, so it is official lore as of right now until Legendary decides to contradict it with some future project again. So in the new Empire movie, you see Godzilla and Tiamat's battle. Spoiler alert everyone at this point. Which it wasn't really a battle as much as it was a breaking and entering turned murder at the hands of the big guy. It was all over in an instant, but in the book we got to see more of what was actually going on in the scene where Godzilla was evolving. Tiamat's lair was smack dab in the center of the Earth's highest natural source of radiation. Radiation in the Monsterverse is like gold and treasure to dragons of fantasy tales. They are obsessed over it, and it gives them more power and pride, and Godzilla wanted it all. Once he killed Tiamat and claimed her lair and radiation sources for his own, he started his transformation. The book explains that during this process, Tiamat's blood and her essence had drifted down and around Godzilla. His body then started to absorb what was ultimately her DNA, in a process very similar to what we saw when Mothra sacrificed herself in King of the Monsters, allowing her power to drift into Godzilla so he could challenge and defeat Ghidorah. Tiamat's unwilling sacrifice resulted in a similar effect. Tiamat's DNA combined with the extreme influx of radiation, almost making the King of the Monsters become a hybrid of the two titans. And this explains why his body went through such significant changes at this time. You can see the aspects of Tiamat's design that carried over to Godzilla. The pufferfish-like spikes and prods that have grown out from his body, giving him an almost poisonous to the touch appearance. His dorsal plates now appear to be more fleshy and fin-like, and his overall body shape has become more slender and serpentine, allowing for better flexibility and speed. which carried over in his anti-gravity battle with Shimo and the Scar King in the Hollow Earth. Only one question remains. Will Godzilla retain this look going into the next movie? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Alright everyone, so I hope you enjoyed that Evolved Godzilla video. So I want to give a huge shout out to Darko Darks for helping me with this Evolved Godzilla model. He's put a lot of work into this model, sculpting it, making it look official, making it look real to the actual Godzilla design, at least I think. And he threw us over here at Dangerville together some epic poses of Godzilla that we used in this video, so I want to give him a big shout out and a big thank you. Make sure to go subscribe to his channel already and download his Godzilla models, there's like a bunch of them. And while we're at it, big shout out to all you Godzilla animators out there, you guys make some of the best animation on YouTube. There's not that many other franchises that have such a passionate fan base willing to create animations of their beloved franchise, you know, that's pretty cool. Alright everyone, on that note, if you want more Monsterverse lore videos, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, like the video, share it around, do all that YouTube stuff, it does really help. And I will see you guys in the next one.